Go. Hey everyone, I have a really exciting show for you today. I actually consider this a part B to an episode or an interview we did about 3 weeks ago with these two gentlemen, Bobby and Adam, where we were talking about flipping $1 million homes in the Bay Area. It was such an exciting interview. We got to talk about real estate and travel and goals and all that stuff. I didn't get to ask the how-to questions. They were nice enough to come back, and we're going to dive into that. But Adam and Bobby, why don't you quickly introduce who you are in case this is the first video people are watching? And then we'll dive into the questions. Why don't you go first, Adam?
I'm Adam. That's Bobby.
Bobby, you want to say anything? Is that enough?
I'm Bobby. Here I am.
All right, guys. So again, you dominate the Bay Area, the Silicon Valley market. You've been doing that a while. You're best friends from college, as I recall. Your partners in this opportunity. Why don't we first talk about with how you find deals, right? Finding deals seems to be a struggle for a lot of new investors. You happen to be working in a market of very expensive homes. Adam was just telling me about some wholesale deals you've just picked up in the last 3 weeks since our last interview. So how do you guys find opportunities to create value?
So right now we're actually pretty blessed. The deals find us now. So we've built it up kind of, we still do a lot of marketing at when we want to, essentially. But now we've been in touch with enough agents that they find us. So the deals come to us to some extent. Nothing just falls in the lap, but they're starting to, we're at that point where we've developed a pipeline. And now we just have to kind of keep communication. We have to keep ourselves out there and kind of keep doing it. But compared to when we started in the beginning, we were hustling. We were hustling very hard to get the deals. And so it's I'll let Adam build on that.
We hustled really hard. No, he's right. We were constantly grinding, making a lot of phone calls all the time. Like we'd make habits of a lot of calls, lunches, appointments, meetings, and we just really don't do that nowadays. We have taken on these random habits of like little things, like if we have lunch and like we're like, oh hey, there's a real estate office across the street. That looks like a lark, so we'll go over there and just kind of be like, hey, like who's your heaviest agent for investors? And we'll just go shake some hands, meet somebody, and lo and behold, somebody just brought us a deal just the other day who we met through that way. So little things like that we still do, but like we used to do a lot of cold calling to agents, like I said, a lot of lunch appointments, etc. But we've kind of now set up a system where people know who we are, they know we perform, they know we move forward, they know how we work, they know that we take care of our agents. So every day they're just bringing more and more deals to us. Literally over the weekend we bought. We were getting we got that one up in Redwood City. We just got that one in San Jose in contract just over the weekend. And Bobby was with his family. I was up in San Francisco celebrating for Pride. And the deals are still flowing. So I kind of woke up from a drunken stupor. Hey, we bought another house. It's great. It takes time. But like I was saying, it's kind of like that perpetual engine. Once you kind of you get that going, it takes very little maintenance to keep a strong deal flow coming in.
So I want to make sure I sort of cement this for folks, because I believe a lot of people that are newer in the real estate business, either wholesalers or flippers. I don't know if it's social media or are these gurus out there, but they seem to think direct mail is the answer, right? They are trying to leap over to find the motivated sellers. And I think what you two have said is no, we seeked out real estate agents, grew those relationships, made sure they knew what you two were looking for, and then you just backed up and performed and continued to do that. Is that right? Or did you do the direct mail and pivot, or how does that work?
We do direct mail, and then we have some other proprietary methods that we use to generate leads as well. But so we've done the direct mail, but kind of like what you mentioned, all the gurus, a lot of them, they're not in the Bay Area. So direct mail works. In the Bay Area, your numbers have to exponentially increase. So when they're, in Tennessee doing 10,000 mailers and they're getting 10 deals. You do 10,000 mailers out here, you're lucky to get one deal.
Got it.
Yeah, we just sent out, I think, close to like 27,000 mailers.
Yeah.
We did one deal off of it. Granted that more might come in time. Like we every so often we'll get someone to hit us up like a year later to be like, man, I really liked your marketing material. Like I've been thinking about selling. We've had these people that show us like 20 other marketing materials that they got, but like yours just really resonated with me.
Very
and
cool.
With that, so usually when we send out that many, I do expect probably another deal within the next probably 6 months will fall in our lap from that campaign.
Sure.
Yeah, no, a lot of our deals, we do both kind of like I said, like yes and, but we're probably 20, maybe 15% of our deals are from direct mail. And then the rest are from agents, as well as kind of like bird dogs, people call them, or people who call on our behalf.
Very, very cool. So let's scratch that a little bit, because I don't think enough people talk about this. Is agents control inventory. They control access. Most of the time the other party is a known seller, right? Because that's why they enlisted help from the agent. So you don't have that issue of you're not really looking to sell. So, what is it that you sort of look for in an agent? Because I think you mentioned on your lark, you go look for the heavy hitter investor. So I guess you're not looking for the people that do open houses and, that's their shtick. But what other things do you look for in the agent? And then what do you think they look for from you two?
I think when looking for an agent, we're looking for people who have been doing kind of maybe some of the deals that we're after. They have worked with, they have some clients who just want like a quick all cash close, don't want to have to deal with anything. Maybe they've experienced one or two hoarder clients. Maybe they've dealt with some properties that can't sell conventionally because it has so many things wrong with it. Like we just bought one that they were starting to do a bathroom remodel on both their bathrooms, and then they just stopped halfway through it. And there's no sinks, like there's really no bathroom. And the house is perfectly fine, but you just can't sell it conventionally. And they don't want to put that extra, like, I don't know, $10K into each bathroom or whatever that'll cost them.
Mind you, that bathroom remodel probably started 10 years ago.
Yes. Got it.
So, and what Bobby's getting at is that is the mentality of the client where we find a lot of these deals. Okay. They're just people who aren't the most motivated. Like a lot of people are like, why wouldn't you just fix it yourself and get top dollar? And it's like, well, that's why you're a real estate investor. That's why you're listening to this podcast. And that's why you do what you do. Mm-hmm. Most people don't think like that. They might work at like Safeway or Target or whatever, anywhere. They just don't want to deal with it. Like that's not their bread and butter. They bought this house 20, 30 years ago for $120,000, and they're extremely happy with the $1.2 million they're getting.
Right.
Even though when we fix this up, it's worth $175 type thing.
The sad reality is that most of the people that live in the Bay Area, the money they have is in their home. It's not,
no question. Yeah.
So they don't have the money to fix the bathroom. They don't have the money to do the remodel. Some people might say, well, it's only $10,000. Well, they don't have that.
Right.
I think it's, 90% of people don't have over $1,000 in the bank account.
Yeah, you guys actually, this is such a good point.
90% of people have less than $10,000 in the bank account. Keep that in mind. And that's what these bathroom remodels are going to cost.
Yeah. You guys bring up such a good point. And I've lived in the Bay Area, like I said on the last interview, my entire life, right? Sunnyvale, right by Peterson. I think it was a middle school or junior high or whatever. So that's my, home area. And you're right. There are a lot of people that bought in the 70s and 80s that are sitting on seven figures. It's more money than they've ever seen. They've probably never made more than 50 or 60 grand a year. And they're willing to just punch out. They're going to probably take the cash they get from you and just, they're leaving California, I'm guessing. Right.
Yeah.
They're going somewhere else.
Colorado, Seattle, etc.
Yeah. Texas, Miami, whatever, right? Pretty much anywhere you want.
Into the valley, out into Tracy, Sacramento,
Stockton, Modesto, Manteca.
Yeah. That makes so much sense. And then again, what that does for you guys, because you're a known entity, is, you can act fast. So now it makes total sense. I guess one more question about attracting deals. Would you say your network of Silicon Valley-based real estate agents that know you, trust you, is greater than 50 or less than 50? I mean, how big is it?
Well, so we've done probably close to, if not over 50 deals.
Sure.
So, and those have all come, most of those probably, like I'm saying, 75% come from agents.
Mm-hmm.
So right there alone,
yeah,
we've done deals with close to 50 agents, and ones that we have worked with that we're trying to do deals with, probably add up to at least another 50.
Yeah.
So we're probably, we've built relationships with close to 100 agents to where it's like we're actively working with them, trying to find something. They're trying to find something for us.
Mm-hmm.
And they know that when something comes, they've either heard through the agents we have worked with, or they've just seen the deals that we've done.
Yeah.
And, once you see a deal that we've done, you can see they close super quick, and then, they either resold it or they rehabbed it, resold it. So they know that we're able to perform, versus, maybe something that they got from a wholesaler where when they send them a property and they look up who owned that property, it comes back to us or some other investor. And then it's like, oh, why don't I just go to them?
Yeah. Yeah. That makes, and I asked that, one really for other people watching this, because I suspected the answer was greater than 50, just knowing your guys' track record. But I asked it because a lot of people that watch this think they have a network when they know 2 agents, right? It's, you don't get deal flow with 2 agents. You have to keep working and pushing.
And to go back to that, so that's agents that we're actively working with. We've met and probably spoken and had conversations with well over that.
Wow.
So now when people say, when, I'm calling 10 agents today, it's like, okay, well, that's cool.
Yeah.
What are you trying to do for your job?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And again, you guys are still meeting more people. Again, you talk about this, going to lunch on the lark, meeting new people. You're not giving up. You're not letting the pipeline rest. You're continually adding to it, because you understand the importance of, I don't know what you want to call it, lead flow, the front of your funnel. So you're not letting that go. So that's very impressive. All right. Now for the fun question. So you guys are working in a market where most of your deals are 7 figures. That's a lot of capital. You're closing quick with cash. I'm sure you can close on some of them with your own cash, just given what we've heard over the last 2 episodes. But I suspect you are JVing or raising hard or private money, because you have a lot of stuff going on. So is any of that true, or how do you finance all these things? Give color to that if you don't mind.
So when we first started, we did use our own money on a deal or 2. And then we discovered the benefits of hard money. Mm-hmm. And then we also built a relationship with our hard money lender where he doesn't even let me quote them, but we get better rates than anybody. We probably get poached by hard money lenders, I kid you not, at least 2 or 3 times a week. They're either emailing us or calling us or texting us, being like, what do we have to do to get your business? What do we have to do to get your business? And they can't match our rates. Yeah. And they can't beat. And at best, they're like, well, we can maybe match it. And I was like, why would I do that? Like, my guy's been super loyal to me. Yeah. Like, we've done over $100 million worth of real estate with them. Like, why would I change, just to match something when there's a level of uncertainty that I have with you?
Totally right. Yeah.
So we're just constantly loyal. So in terms of that, we do a lot of hard money. It makes more sense. I think even right now we're holding about 18 million worth of projects. So it's just nice to be able to leverage those funds and constantly be able to take on more. So some people start getting capped out after a few projects. I think right now we have maybe about 8 projects on the books. So for us, we could take on another 8. We always like to keep a cash reserve. And like I said, on the side, we're working on creating our own little bar / brewery / getting into angel investing and a few other things. So we like to maintain a level of liquidity. We do think that it is wise to use hard money. Yeah. I think the people who are listening to this, it is smart to build a relationship with 1 or 2 hard money lenders and make sure that you are ready to go when you find a deal. A lot of people kind of the whole cart before the horse. They'll grab the deal, but then they have nothing in line, and now they have to be like, oh, let me get back to you in a week or 2 once I try to line funding, and the deals just don't last that long. So
if a deal's worth doing, the deal's going to get done by someone quick
that week.
Yeah,
that week.
24 hours. Exactly.
Today's Monday. Yeah, exactly. We've closed on those little 24 hours in some of our projects, and our money lender is always like, oh, come on, boys, give me at least 2 days. Even then, that's phenomenal, So we basically tell them, but we can close as fast as escrow can record.
Exactly.
So
Escrow.
only about 24 to 36 hours is the closest or the quickest that we've done. So yes,
Wow.
plenty of hard money. Like I said, we've done over $100 million worth of transactions just with this one hard money lender alone.
Mm-hmm.
We've tried a few other ones throughout the years just to try them and just to
Yeah.
we'll do like small deals just so we have a backup in case there's ever any hiccups, and they know that we perform, we know they perform.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, as long as our guy stays in business, you know what I mean? Like we will just,
Why would you go somewhere else? I mean, and again, it's a relationships. What you guys talked about up front with finding deals, it's relationships. Hard money is relationships. Without getting into the details of the structure, I assume, I don't know, are you giving monthly interest payments, or does he just lock it all up and you pay it off at the end, or just basic structures without, giving away rates and stuff? How does that work for you guys?
It's basically monthly interest that is paid. They'll normally kind of like pre-bill us the first month's interest as soon as we close on the deal.
Mm-hmm.
We pay. I'll just say it's below a point, but there's always that.
Yeah.
And then just a set interest rate, which we'll say below 10%.
Sure.
So if you find anything below a point, below 10%, you're doing very good.
Yeah.
I think that is phenomenal hard money rates.
Yeah. And then the term is a year, then with 6 months extensions.
It's traditionally a year, exactly. And what they'll do is they'll actually sell it to another company.
Okay.
So there's been ones that have gone over a year. They just sell to that company now, and now we pay them.
Okay.
So it's normally pretty easy, and we usually do around like a 90% loan to value. So we're normally putting about 10% into these projects, and then the other 90% is financed.
Yeah. So I just want to make sure I got that, because that was the next question. So as far as investment capital from you, is that 10% of just the purchase price, or is that purchase price plus make ready, or how do you guys sort of balance that?
So, to this day, we still haven't done like a make ready or like bundle in the construction loan aspect to it. Like we just do all that out of pocket. So everything we do is just it's 90% of the purchase price. We come up with the other 10%, and if we are going to rehab it, we will generally pay that out of pocket.
Yeah, I do that as well. And again, that's one of the reasons your hard money lender likes you, is because your money's at risk first, right? Not only do they have the 10% sort of purchase price, but you're going to be spending, I don't know, 6 figures on the repair money, and they know that your dollars are at risk first. Is that fair to say?
Super true. Yeah, no, our guys only made hundreds of thousands of dollars off us. But there was a deal that we ended up losing. I hate to admit this, but we actually lost a little over $500,000 on one deal. This was actually in Sunnyvale.
Okay.
And a lot of people might have like closed up shop and then declared bankruptcy. It's like, sorry, lender, you're not getting paid. But like, no, he got his money. So like we always make sure our people are taken care of. And that was just the cost of doing business. We just had to bite that one. We bought the wrong time. The market took that 15% shift. We allowed for too long of a rent back. Certain characteristics of the home were less favorable. We're constantly learning about feng shui and energy and the home. And there's just, there's just so many things, but constantly we're always learning. Like people think we're these like experts in this industry, but like we're just novices. The proverbial, our cups are empty. Like there's just so much to learn in this industry.
Yeah.
So
we won't buy a house on a tee anymore.
Yeah. Poison arrows. Yeah.
And also one thing to mention with what Adam was going over our general rates and terms. People shouldn't expect to get 90% loan to value at 10% and 1 point for their first deal.
No.
You're going to have to pay to play. And typically what we see, if you can get 10%, right now rates have come down a little bit. So around that 10% and around that point, and 80 to 85%. For anyone who's listening that's newer, that's more likely where you'll be.
Yeah. And again, I like that you guys talked about a loss. I don't think you could be in this business for any length of time and not eventually have a loss. The numbers just say it's coming.
Yeah.
But the other thing's important is I think it is so refreshing that you guys are just talking about borrowing off purchase price and you're willing to fund the repair costs. I see so many people looking to bundle purchase price and repair cost or make ready together into one loan. And if the market shifts like I think it's going to or is now, they're out of business, right? Their hard money lenders are going to lose money. They're not going to be secure. And these people are just going to vanish, which is going to give you two a lot more opportunity, I would suspect.
Exactly. And that's kind of, the market right now has been on, I think, the longest run in history. And so it's kind of at what point does it actually, because it turned a little bit last year.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that was the turn. Who knows? Maybe the economy is doing so good right now that was the turn.
Maybe. Yeah.
But if not, how can we put ourselves in the best position for when it does go down to where we just buy more?
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of buying at that point too. That's when we start buying the 12, 15, 20, 30 unit buildings like in Santa Clara County.
Oh man, wouldn't that be awesome? Oof. Wow, I can't imagine. Okay, because I'm way over in Fresno where it's 50 or 60K a door. I'm just curious. Do you know what a 20 unit building costs per door in Santa Clara County? Is it like 400 grand a door?
No, you should be able at 20 units or more. You should be able to keep it at about 250 a door.
Wow, 250, 300. Okay, just curious.
Normally we're buying multifamilies depends on the area, but in San Jose, most of the multifamilies we buy are at about 300 a door.
Okay.
And we're also just buying like 4 unit buildings.
Yeah, so still residential.
Unit building, that economy of scale, I think should bring you to about 225 to 270 a door.
Okay, cool. Just curious. Never even looked.
I will say this: anyone who finds a building that gets it at 225, let us know.
Yeah, exactly. You'll take it. Strong buyers right here.
No, he's right though. Yeah, reach out to us on what's the best website for that one? TheValleyInvestors.com.
Yeah, the Valley Investors. Yep.
TheValleyInvestors.com. All of our information's on there. You can call us. You can email us. But we are always looking for larger scale multifamily projects, but ideally here within the greater Santa Clara County region. But if you got something out of the area, we're always open if the cap rates make sense. So that'd be my little
plug. Oh, please.
Yeah,
that's what this is for. You guys got to get value too. So the last question I wanted to talk about, we talked about how to find, we talked about money. Now, how the heck do you guys manage? Because it's just you two, all the projects at one time. Do you divide and conquer? Like you take the left side, I take the right side, or how do you have 8 deals in flight right now? I mean, how the heck do you do all that?
There is an element, we both juggle it pretty well. Like normally I would say 90% of our stuff we do together. There's been a couple of projects that Bobby is maybe taking the reins or I took the reins, but it's normally because one or the other's out of the country. We had one where Bobby was in Egypt and I kind of took the reins on this Redwood City one. I was just in Japan. He took the reins on the Sunnyvale project we just picked up. But for the most part, we just kind of juggle the stuff together. We have a phenomenal construction crew where we can send our contractors in like that day. If we find some today, they'll be in there like, what time is it? They'll be in there in like an hour. Okay. They're ready to go. So, and they see everything to fruition. They know what we like. They know what kind of materials we want. We've kind of developed a cookie cutter system based on like A, B, or C grade neighborhoods. So once you have it, we have great title ladies. They take care of a lot of that. It's not that complicated once you find something to kind of just bring it to fruition.
Okay. So let me ask it differently. So you mentioned earlier 8 projects in flight today. Are those all 8 rehabs or is it like 4 wholesales and 4 flips? Just so I'm clear.
Good question.
So they all start out as the whole process. They start out as wholesales. If we can wholesale them first, wholesale. If we wholesale them, we can wholesale them. If we have to rehab them, we'll rehab them. So we kind of have our cookie cutter approach of we start with A, then we go to B, and as we go down the line, of course, the price changes and things change. And as you know, if we go through the wholesale, and we find out we've overpriced it, and we're like, okay, well, maybe we just take a little bit less and we just get rid of it, reduce that risk, go on to the next one. Everything we start with that, and then at the end, depending on the project, if we have to keep going down, we always have that intention once we close, because if we go into it as a wholesale, we're like, well, we'll close on it if we have to. Maybe it's not a deal.
Yes.
Got it. Now it makes more sense. I was envisioning 8 projects with 4 different general contractors, repair lists of 5 pages long. And my brain was starting to hurt.
So right now we have, we are 8 projects on the book. So we have 2 triplexes, 2 properties in San Jose, a property in San Carlos, a property.
2 in San Carlos. Or I guess one in Redwood City. We just got another one like over the weekend.
One in downtown to kind of San Jose. And then I think that's the 8, isn't it? And then the Sunnyvale. Yeah. So that's the 8.
And the Sunnyvale house is the one that's missing the 2 bathrooms. So what we'll probably do right now, like we just got such a good deal that we're easily looking at a 6-figure wholesale on that one. Wholesale, excuse me, because we did close on it. So we did close on it. Our goal is to sell it while doing nothing to it. And if we need to, we might just go in, just do a quick 10-day both bathroom remodel, probably done in a week.
Right.
We'll get both bathrooms done, and then at least then we'll know it'll pass for financing. So
right.
It'll be up to snuff in that class. So we'll probably rehab that. As Bobby was mentioning, we're going to rehab the triplexes that we had gotten. And kind of bring those to market rents, looking nice, and just kind of beautifying those because they're severely outdated. But the rest, the other two of the ones in San Jose, I think, are already in contract. We've already wholesaled both of them.
Yeah.
So those two are off the books. The one in San Carlos, it's interesting. It actually has a sliding scale close. So if any listeners are looking for a project in San Carlos, that one is available. I'll even share. I think it's like somewhere off of Hilltop. I don't remember the exact number, but it's off of Hilltop in San Carlos, surrounded by $3 million plus new builds, and we're going to be selling that one for around like 165 or so. And it has an interesting sliding close where they ask for a 4-month closing window, and they would have to give us a 2-week notice of when they want to close. So there's about 3 months left on that. So for all I know, they can call us tomorrow and be like, all right, 2 weeks starts today. So it's ideal for a builder who kind of wants to get their plans and everything in order. So you can kind of, I guess what I'm trying to paint the picture here is like, not all of these are like that insanely demanding. Sometimes you might have one on the back burner like that. The other two, we just, one we just wholesaled. The other one we actually closed on and had a buyer that day. Like she wanted to close on it, but she wanted to close on it conventionally. Right. And there was stuff that had to get cleaned out. There was like a green pool, this and that. So all that got taken care of. We decided just to close on it. We upped the price that we sold it to them, but we made a nice little 6 figures just closing it and bringing it right to somebody else. And I think we have to pick that check up today, right? Is that in for us, Bobby?
Yeah.
Did you pick that check up? Did you get it?
Nope, not yet.
Oh, darn it. You have 6 figures you need to go pick up. I feel bad. All right, guys. Well, this has been so much fun. I appreciate you answering the questions. So important, building your network. I think too many people talk about direct mail. I don't think enough people talk about go to the people that control inventory. Seek out agents. You talked about building relationships with hard money, what that looks like. Willing to put your dollars at risk during the rehab keeps hard money people happy. That's awesome. And then now it makes a lot more sense about 8 on the books. My brain translated that to 8 projects. Totally wrong. You wholesale, you hotel, and you will flip if appropriate. This makes so much sense to me. And now I know why you guys are killing it, why you spend 3 months out of the country each, and why you two work so well together. I appreciate your time. And how can people get a hold of you? How can people get a hold of you?
One thing too, before I get to, I want to mention with the agents, just like you said, like reach out to plenty of them and take care of them. Do whatever you can to add value to these people's lives. Realize you're not the only investor that's out there that's talking to these people. And like we were saying earlier too, some of our best agents bring us maybe 2 or 3 projects a year, and they bring everything to us. But these you can't just get a house for 60, 70 cents on the dollar every day. These are rare. We live in a very sophisticated city. I think we have some of the highest rates of college degrees, this and that. It's a pretty savvy city out here. People know what they have. They see it every day on the news, every day in the newspapers about how much their home's worth. There's 20 different agents knocking on their doors, telling them how much their home's worth, how much they should sell it for, et cetera. These people, they know that they got Redfin, they got Zillow, they have access to the internet. So just make sure that whatever you do, you take massive action. And I guess that would lead me something that we had created. We've been running it now to great success. I think I mentioned it before. We started AmericanFlippers.com. We've been teaching people how to invest, how to buy for their own long-term holdings, kind of some of the scripts that we go over, how to network with these agents, how to add value to their lives, how to kind of share your projects and provide them with off-market inventories. There's just so many little tactics that we've used to kind of build up this database over the years. So you're asking for one thing. So that's one of our ways. If they ever want to get a hold of us, you're welcome to check out AmericanFlippers.com. We take on 6 students at a time, and you're with us until you get your first deal done. So we make sure everybody gets something done.
And to go a little bit further on that, shoot us a text or give us a call. I think that's going to be the quickest way to get in touch with us to see if you want to go down that road, or even if you have a deal and it's something you want to run by us to see if that's something that we take on. We do partnerships and stuff like that. A majority of the time, we found that JVing is a great way to build relationships and keep the deal flow and risk kind of mitigated on all parties. So if you want, give us a call, 408-755-6745.
Awesome, guys. Thank you very much for this. And Bobby, why don't you give that phone number one more time?
408-755-6745.
All right, Adam, Bobby, thank you so much for doing this. Thank you for coming back and doing a part B. Far exceeded my expectations again. This has been awesome. I appreciate everything you're doing, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having us on here, Michael. We greatly appreciate it as well. So thank you for your time as well, sir.
You got it.
Thanks, Michael. Appreciate it.
Take care, guys.
We'll grab lunch soon. You have a good day.
Yep.